Good day, learners. In today's video, we have a figure 1.3.1. We have a figure 1.3 with a set of 4 questions, excuse me. Let's dive right in. So, we clearly see a picture of a cold front. This is a cold front. How do we notice if it's a cold front or a warm front? It's the spikes which represent cold, and then semicircles represent warm. So, this is essentially a cold front. Okay. Probably of a mid-latitude cyclone. All right, cool. The general direction of movement of the cold front is eastwards, because we do know that tropical cyclones or mid-latitude cyclones, excuse me, move from west to east. So it's an easterly direction, eastwards. 1.3.2. Why does the mid-latitude cyclone move in this direction? Answer to question 1.3.1. I hated these type of questions in high school. Like you had to have gotten 1.3.1 right to actually get 1.3.2 right. So if you like flopped 1.3.1, it's over for the entire question. But hey, you made it. So why does this mid-latitude cyclone move in the direction? It's simply because it's steered by they move in the easterly or westerlies, right? Steered by westerlies. So mid-latitude cyclones are steered or powered by westerly winds, which are known as westerlies. Right? How do we know? Just look at the first letter. Right? Since they move from west to east, look at the first letter. They are steered by westerlies. And if we're talking about tropical cyclones, which move from east to west, in fact, I should have east to west. What are they steered by? Look at the first letter. They're steered by easterlies. It's that simple. At least that's how I remembered it when I was doing geography. Let me just get this out of the way. So mid-latitude cyclones are steered by westerlies. 1.3.3 account for the heavy rainfall of 80% at A as the cold front approaches. Where's A? Okay, A, we see rainfall is 80%. Okay, that's simple. A cold front is approaching. Obviously, there'll be heavy rainfall, as you'd assume. If I were to draw a cross section for you, like a rough sketch, this is the cold front. Okay, let me just draw the warm front for convenience sake. And we do know that this cold front is usually associated with these long vertical clouds known as cumulonimbus clouds. Alright, and these clouds are generally associated with heavy rainfall. So basically, our answers should be along those lines. So we do mention that the cold front undercuts the warm sector, since this is the warm sector which contains warm air. So we do mention that the cold front undercuts this warm air in the warm sector, right? And then when it undercuts it, since the cold front generally has a steeper pressure gradient and is moving really fast, it rapidly uplifts this warm air. Warm air is then rapidly uplifted. Right. So what does this rapid upliftment mean? There'll be rapid cooling and condensation. Rapid cooling and rapid condensation. That's when clouds are about to form, okay? And then cumulonimbus clouds form. Cumulonimbus clouds form. Let's get this out of the way so you don't get confused. Okay. So cumulonimbus clouds form. So your answer for like 4 marks should be well detailed around all of these points, okay? You should mention the undercutting, you should mention the rapid upliftment, you should mention a rapid cooling and condensation, and you obviously should mention the formation of cumulonimbus clouds to fully attain your 4 marks. Right. Let's move on to the last question of this lesson. In a paragraph of approximately 8 lines, explain how different weather conditions associated with a cold front would have a negative impact on tourists in the Western Cape. Right, Western Cape, Cape Town. Okay, so let me just grab my pen real quick. So, how I like to teach learners to answer these questions is that look at the key points, right? Explain how the different weather conditions, they're looking at the different weather conditions associated with a cold front. And we know these weather conditions. What are these weather conditions? Here we're talking about heavy rainfall. Okay, that's definitely not the spelling of heavy. Excuse me for that. Okay, so it's heavy rainfall. Okay, what else? Thunderstorms. Thunderstorms. These are all associated with the cold front. We know that, right? We know snow since this is in Cape Town, or Western Cape rather, and snow does occur in the Western Cape. We are looking at very low temperatures, hail, lightning, and all that nonsense, right? Okay, will have an impact on tourists. Okay, so you might mention any one of these, and you now have to mention like the negative impact that it would have on the tourism or the tourist of Western Cape. What if you were a tourist and went into Western Cape, and when you arrived there, there was heavy rainfall, there was thunderstorms, there was snow, there was hail, there was fog, mist, overcast conditions, lightning, low temperatures, it was very cold. Primarily outdoor, okay, remove this R, outdoor activities would be cancelled. I mean, if it's raining heavily and it's lightning and thunderstorms, I don't think anyone would be brave enough to still do outdoor activities. So you'd unfortunately have to cancel all your outdoor activities. Uh, and tourist destinations such as the mountains will not be accessible due to the snow, due to the mist. So tourist destinations will be inaccessible, right? And not mainly due to physical barrier, but just many recreational areas will be closed, right? Due to the bad weather conditions, right? Transport routes, like the roads to get to these tourist destinations, will be blocked by snow. So transport routes, as I should have said, will be blocked by snow. So, guys, this goes back to an imagination. But if you like me and you are really, really bad at imagining, I do have a cheat sheet for this. I always mention this. You should get your hand on that, right? Just to mention, I think we're good to go because this question was like 8 marks, right? Okay, we need one last point. Okay, so tourist, it's cold, right? So tourist, okay, I forgot to mention cold temperatures, right? So tourists risk getting sick. Tourist risk getting sick. So this is a negative impact on the tourist in the Western Cape. Okay, I hope that you found this video useful, and do like and subscribe and leave a comment on which sections you are struggling with in geography. I know most people told me about map work, and I am trying to curate a full playlist on map work, trying to cover those basic calculations and your GIS, right? But with your support, or let me just rather say, without your support, that won't be possible. So I do need your support. I do need you to like, I do need you to comment, I do need you to subscribe to the channel for the channel to grow enough for me to curate the GIS session or the GIS revision playlist and map work in general. So thank you for tuning in.